Alright, so welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be restoring this lifelike Campbell Soup locomotive. So, before we get into restoring it, let's go test it. So I've got it up on the track, and let's see how it runs now. Sounds like, for me, there might be a slight ticking in there. So, might be a cracked gear or something in there. And also, before it smelled like, when I'm running it, it smells like it's kind of smoking a bit, so there might be something burning on the commutator that needs to be cleaned off. So anyway, let's go in and get restoring it. Okay, so we've got the power truck apart. It took quite a bit of time. So let's just go into here. Start by removing the springs and brushes. Actually got these little containers here to store parts in while I'm doing the restoration, so should be pretty helpful. It should make it so I lose my parts less often. Just gonna say this to remind myself. The red one goes on the left and the blue one goes on the right. Gonna drop the brushes down into there. Reposition this so you guys can see it better. These gears seem to not want to come out. The wheel sets don't really seem to want to come out of here easily. I'll go in here first. This whole engine just seems a bit too stiff to me. Don't know why, but it all just feels really stiff. There we go. There we go. I got that wheel out. That wheel came off. This all seems way too stiff here. Like both the wheels ended up coming off there. Throw those in there. Now it seems like I can start to actually take apart this motor casing. There's in there. Just start by taking everything out and throwing it in the parts bin. Look at the commutator of this motor. That is probably the area where my smell is coming from. Let me get to cleaning this commutator now with my fiberglass pencil. Let's see if I can use a Q-tip to clear some of this stuff out of the facings. Yep, I'll go grab a toothpick from the kitchen, then I'll be right back with the motor all clean. It's been a little while, but I got the motor all cleaned up. Now let's move on to the gears and casing. I think I'll start with the casings first. All of this old grease in here seems really hard. So hopefully I can get it all out. Might have been what was slowing this engine down and making it be so loud when I was testing it before. That casing is pretty much clean. Yeah, this is getting much cleaner now. Sorry if I'm not talking through parts of this. Just trying to concentrate on fixing this. Any carbon buildup from in there next. I think that one's pretty much cleaned up. Now let's work on these little wheel sets here. All of these gears are really orangey. I think that's from the grease and oil and whatever they put in these when they were new, but I'm not sure. That gear looks pretty good now. This gear might be worse than the first one was. I think that one's looking pretty good now. Now I've just got the gears and brushes left to clean, and we can go putting the whole thing back together. These little brushes first. Little gears first. That one wasn't too dirty. This one also doesn't seem to be too dirty either. It was dirtier than the first, but not that bad still. That one seems pretty clean now. I've just got 2 gears left. So that one seems pretty good. Now I've just got the last big gear to clean, then the brushes. And this model should be about ready to go back together now. That one seems good. Now all I've got left to clean are these brushes, which they do seem kind of oily. Cleaning that one up there should help it. Grab this one now. I think those are pretty clean, so let's go putting this thing back together now. Yeah, magnets came out also with this, so get that screw off. We'll put these magnets back in place. And glue them in with a tiny bit of super glue if I can find where I put it. There it is. Try not to put too much, but I'll just glue these in with a tiny bit of super glue. That magnet. Let that set, then I'll come back to this soon. Alright, so the glue is all set, so let's get back to reassembling this locomotive. Gotta figure out where the gears went. Gotta put on these slightly bigger ones than the tiny ones in the big one. Put that gear on. I think this is how it goes. It might not be. If it isn't, I'll adjust it. It might be a bit much oil, so I don't need to do that much for the next gear. Now we have the teeny tiny gears. Drop that on the top there. Perfect. And finally, we have the final big gear. I think that is good for now. Just realized it did that whole thing off camera. Sorry. Uh-oh. Looks like I made a mistake. Put the gears in upside down. So now all of them just fell out. Don't need to put more oil on. Turning pretty freely there. Now oil up these bearings quickly. There. Put the screws back into here now. Put that back on camera. Just throw that everywhere. Clean a bit of this oil up. Don't really need all that much there. But yeah, these screwdrivers, again, they don't do really well with torque. Aren't the greatest for being used. To put the screw in, go back for a second and check the right thing. So that is correct there. I've got to put in the springs and brushes pretty quickly. This is one of my least favorite parts. It's pretty difficult for me sometimes. There. Now we gotta do it to the other side. that screw right in there. Got that in. Now we've just got to get in the wheels and oil them. Which has been difficult for me, to say the least. Got that set in. Plop in the other set and then add oil. And there, we got that all popped into place. Give all that some fresh oil. Oil to the wheel sets themselves. Put on the truck cover next. Then I'll do the rear truck off camera, and then I'll come back and we will go test it. So I've got it set up on the tracks now, and let's see if it runs any better. Seems to run much better at the lower speeds, and a bit quieter. Let's try some of the higher speeds. It runs at about the same volume at the higher speeds, but it seems to run a lot better at speeds under like 75 or 70. So yeah, it runs a fair bit better. So thanks for watching. And if you want to see another video with an F unit, click on the screen around now.